What's up guys, my name is Khan and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic, and a lot of people have been asking me recently what's going on with the hovercraft that I had worked on in a stream. We were working on this and I called it the vehicle transport hovercraft because originally I was going to have this sort of drop down on an elevator, pick up vehicles and store vehicles up in here, and then I realized, you know, that's kind of boring. There's really not much you can do to it. But the hovercraft here, it's a pretty simple hovercraft. So we've got a gyro in the back here, with just a lot of controls, but really these controls are just all set up to allow you to start doing things like autopilot, stuff like that. So it's got, you know, really simple setup. We've got stability controls, everything reads off the gyro. All these logic gates really are just to make sure that if you're giving it commands and it also needs to stabilize, that the stabilization overrides whatever commands you're giving it. So it's really just, you know, it looks complicated, but it's really just a simple setup. And if we go into this seat here, we can just kind of see how it works. So, you know, we can go forward, we can go back, and then we can rotate left and rotate right. Now, these are very, very slow. For some reason, I have the rotation commands turned down. I'm not exactly sure why. I thought this was a pretty cool design, yet I was really just kind of bored with the whole vehicle transport functionality thing. So this hovercraft, really cool, right? It hovers at a default height of 20 blocks, and then we can turn on this 5 switch here, and it'll adjust and hover up at 250 blocks. And I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. And if we give it an autopilot, that'll be really cool. But we should be able to, you know, rain siege on all the unsuspecting people down below. So I've spent a lot of time working on a really cool system for this device, and I haven't actually put it in yet, and I'll show you why in a second. And that's this system over here. So all we really have to do is take this system and put it in here, which we're not going to do this episode. I just wanted to show you guys what that system is and really just kind of give you a sneak peek, because this is still a work in progress kind of project, but I got to take this entire hovercraft, merge it with that system over there, and then, you know, do a few extra control things and, you know, add a bridge and all sorts of other things. And then it'll finally be a finished product. I've just been really working hard on trying to perfect that. And as a result, I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to lose the opportunity to just show you guys there is progress happening, and don't worry, this build is coming. So let's go take a look at what exactly this is. You might be able to guess what this is just by looking at this. But that's right, it is a artillery cannon. So we've got a little bit of a cannon there. It's kind of on this little sort of trap area. And so what we're going to end up doing is deploying this cannon out of the bottom of the hovercraft. So once we actually have the final hovercraft version, we can actually deploy this cannon out the bottom. And of course, this cannon has the full movement controls. We can tilt it down, tilt it up, and adjust it accordingly, and we can rotate it left and we can rotate it right. So there is some movement controls there. Now we're gonna leave it basically just straight, then we'll get around to how all that works in a second. And we're gonna load the cannon. So the first thing we want to do is get some sort of a block and get barrels. Of course, it is a barrel shooting cannon, and we're just gonna put a line of blocks down here like so, and then we're going to load the cannon. So we're gonna go over here, start up here, and I believe it holds 9 shots. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we have a fully loaded cannon. So we can disconnect these, and of course, amazingly, there's actually no lag for some reason with all these on this static object. Now this object isn't welded to the ground. Those piston points there that are holding us up, they're all free floating. So it should have the same effect once we put all those barrels onto the hovercraft. And really straightforward. This is the simple testing seat. Of course, it's not completed yet, but if we hit the 2 switch, you'll see what happens. It'll actually pick up, grab that barrel. Little robot arm will rotate the barrel down into position, load it into the cannon. The cannon will spin up, grab it, pull it back, and then of course we can fire. And boom, shakalaka, amazing. So there are a few meters to check what position the cannon is in. So for example, if the cannon is not deployed, you can't reload it because obviously the robot arm would not go to the right position. So there's just a little and condition on that that says, you know what, your cannon has to be in the deployed position before we can actually load it with any sort of ammo. So that's the first check. And the second check, which you might have to adjust, is this check right here. So these two black bars here, this L-shaped one on the bottom and this one on the top, they measure the angle and pitch of the cannon. So as you tilt the cannon up or down, it adjusts the top bar, and as you rotate it left and right, it adjusts the bottom bar. And you might notice they are attached sort of with these two curved pieces to these two sensors, and those sensors say this is your default sort of resting position. If you don't have the cannon in the resting position, you can't reload, because then this whole barrel mechanism is not going to line it up straight. So you're going to have to bring your cannon back to the resting position every time. So we've got it in the resting position here. Should work here. So see there? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I definitely need to adjust that resting position, and then we can just, you know, tilt, fire, deploy another one. You can deploy a new shot every 15 seconds if you're right on time with the targeting. But it is a pretty awesome system. So you can see he grabs that, pulls it back, press 1, and oh, we just kicked the barrel off for some reason. Okay. And then of course to reload, it's just got 9 shots, and really simply it just has a binary counter. So over here we've got a binary adder, and every time it goes through and fires a shot, it just adds 1 to the binary adder. So you can see sometimes this piston goes backwards before it goes forwards, and that's just because we only have 3 pistons here. So 1 set to a length of 3, 1 set to a length of 6, and 1 set to a length of 12. And basically the pistons act like a binary circuit and let us move the total number of barrels. So you can see there, you can tilt that. That little cannon grabs it again. Little robot puts it down. Robot load. Oh, snagged again. See, something's weird there. It's getting snagged. I've been testing this for a few days now, and I've literally never had it get snagged. Of course, then I would go to record it, it would get snagged. So I think I need to work a little bit on those 2 bars that actually rotate and push it down. You can see those 2 pipe pieces, the 2 large pipe pieces on top that are meant to kind of hold the barrel down in position. I think they're actually causing the problem, and they seem to be getting jammed up. But overall, guys, I'm really happy with the way this design worked out. It's really, really cool. I don't think I mean, it took a little bit of effort and time. So you can see, yeah, no, it's still getting jammed there. Oh, now it's caught for sure. There we go. We'll just... Yeah, no, definitely caught. It should maybe move that piston out. Yeah, there we go. Free that up. Deploy you. Yeah, see, it's not supposed to get caught there, but it has been for some reason. But you can see it's a relatively simple mechanism, so everything is just staged. We've got 4 bits here which determine which of the 4 actions you're doing. So you've got, like, the arm position is one of the actions, deploying this piston is another one. Oh, hello. You've got, of course, the ability to clamp down on the barrel is another action. And then we just use these 5 timers here. So whenever we hit the reload button, it triggers a bit, which then starts the process and goes, okay, we're going to do this action first. So we're going to clamp down, and actually we can just run through the sequence. So we'll just shoot that one. Perfect. Very accurate shots, of course, the standard piston cannon. But you can see there, so the first, clamp down, move positions, go to the new position, drop down, open out, clamp that down, pull back, and then extend back out. So it's a really cool process. I definitely have to time a little bit better. And then, of course, we've just got to mount this into a hovercraft. And if we're actually flying in the hovercraft, we can then press this button. It'll reset the entire load bar. We could deploy that all the way back, and we can load this up with 9 more shots. Like I said, this is just a little bit of an update video to show you guys that I am still working on this. I know I've been getting a lot of comments for this project and a few other projects as well. I know I seem to have this habit of getting a lot of open projects on the go and not really finishing them in any sort of timely manner. And I do want to apologize for that, but I just get so excited about working on one project, and then I come up with some idea and I go on to a different project, and then I never forget about the original project. I've just sort of been, you know, always thinking, well, this is a cool idea and this is a cool idea. So the next objective, of course, is going to be to take this entire setup, mount it inside of there, and then put some interiors as well as, you know, do some other things to it. Now, I think we're going to actually have to change that frame because I don't think that's big enough to fit this entire mechanism, but I'm not sure. Again, we'll try that on a new episode, but let me know what you guys think, of course, in the comments down below. I am going to be adding all the autopilot features to this as well. My end goal is for you to be able to fly around controlling the cannon and just focusing on the reload while the computer flies it for you, and hopefully be able to shoot stuff down. But I was just so excited when I got this reload system working that I really wanted to show you guys how it works and just, you know, really really show you that this project is still coming along and it's definitely underway, and it's definitely going to be a really cool project when it's done. Definitely the coolest loading system I've ever come up with, especially the fact that the robot has to actually take the shot from the one location and move it completely down to the other. So just really, really cool. Let me know what you want to see in the final hovership project. I have a few ideas for how I'd like to do some of the aesthetic things, as well as reworking some of the thruster controls and how I want the autopilot to work. But of course, I'm always open for your guys' suggestions. I love hearing what you guys think, and even if you don't think it, I do read all the comments, so I always get all your suggestions, and I really do appreciate them all. So make sure you guys let me know what you think, and make sure you hit those buttons. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. I just love watching this little robot work. I need to build more creations with robots.